Very good afternoon and welcome to the ladies special of Your Stocks. For the markets, the follow through, the pullback which started on Thursday continues on to today as well. So Wednesday's closing level was about a 55.19. From there, in the last two trading sessions, the Nifty's managed to put on close to about 115 odd points, and the Nifty stands at that 56.36 odd level, a gain of about 1.3%. Mid-caps doing well, very well, with they're up close to about 1.6%. A couple of things could have aided this pullback. One, that fall was very sharp, so it was 550 points from the high point of the Nifty, so you would expect some more on the technical pullback side. Secondly, macro data has been fairly encouraging, particularly the trade data, the trade deficit, which has come in at $12.3 billion. Also, Britannia's positive earnings has lifted the mood in a couple of these FMCG stocks. So HUL, ITC, particularly ITC, which has closed about a 10% weightage in the Nifty, has moved higher by about 3%, and that's contributed about a 15 points on the Nifty, which takes away the sting from the disappointing earnings from State Bank of India. The Bank Nifty as well has managed to recover from the low point and now is currently flat. So from the low, the Bank Nifty has managed to recover close to about 1.5%. But the next 30 minutes are dedicated to empowering women, to enable as well as encourage them to take their own financial decisions. Hi, Samara.
Hi, Rima. Good afternoon. And so like Rima said, starting today, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday, we'll be addressing queries which are especially from our women callers. So we'll be discussing not just the stock queries that they send us, but also their personal finance queries. So to kickstart the ladies special, joining us today, we have Harshvardhan Rungta, who will be answering all the personal finance queries. And we also have in a bit, Sharmila Joshi will be joining us to take all your stock queries. But before we get to our callers and before we get to our guest, Harshvardhan, I want to ask you one thing. I know we've spoken a lot about it, but do you think women are perhaps better placed to be making financial decisions? And are you seeing a lot more women come to you for the queries? I mean, I don't want to say anything, but perhaps we're just intrinsically better organizers of finances.
Well, Samara, women otherwise are known to be better organized than men. I'm not getting into comparing the habits of people. But generally, I would say that women, since they do they have multiple roles. People who the women who work manage the house and the office as well. So the idea is, yes, we are in recent times we are seeing women coming forward to take charge of the finances. Earlier, it was all left on their husbands to do it or their parents to take charge of the finances. But recently, we have seen that paradigm shift, wherein women want to take charge. They are trying to take a keen interest in their own finances so that they can be independent and they can take decisions on their own. So answering your query, yes, we see that kind of awareness being created these days, and hopefully it only increases as the days go by.
Harsh, one more question, before we start addressing all the individual queries. Are the rules for, women investing different from that of men? And secondly, just classifying them into three buckets. So say one, single working women. Secondly, perhaps married, but married and working. And thirdly, married, so with a family, but not working. So how would you, if most of the women would perhaps fall in one of these three, so how would you, what's the advice for each of them?
Well, Rima, if you see, there is the finance, when you talk about personal finance, the requirements and what you do with your money is completely dependent on your current situation. So if there is a woman who's single and who's not married, there are different goals that she has, there are different requirements that she has, so there's a different thing that she does with her money. So similarly, if there is a woman who is married without children, there are different kind of set of investments. And if a woman is independent and has a child as well, so there are different kind of schemes for them. So it will be very difficult to generalize that all women who are not married need to do a particular set of things. Personal finance is, as the word says, personal. So it is different. All 35-year-old cannot have a simple and a straightforward blanket investment pattern. If a person has some liabilities in the short term, he needs to make provisions for that. Vis-a-vis another person who has no liability in the short term makes different set of investments. So I would say, let's not generalize any form of investment for any age or a category of people. Let it be very specific and personalized to each individual, be it men or women.
All right, so let's not keep our callers waiting any longer. Let's get to our first caller, Kalpana Pongshe, who's a Mumbai-based homemaker, calls us. Hi, Kalpana.
Hello.
Hi, what's your query?
Hello.
Hi, Kalpana. You have a query that you wanted to ask?
Yes. I want to ask one question. Yeah. Can I ask now?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. I have some investment in PPF and maturity period is approaching very soon.
Okay.
And I want to invest that money, approximately like rupees 7 lakh
Okay.
in stocks like RIL, HUL, ITC, TCS, Infosys, Sun Pharma, Lupin, etc. Is it worth entering now to get more return?
You mean you want to enter via direct equity, or would you consider perhaps mutual funds? Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe mutual fund or directly also.
Okay. All right. Now, Harshvardhan, first to you. Kalpana has some FDs, PPF, etc., which are nearing their maturity. Advisable to shift to equities right now, and would you advise someone like her to look at direct equity or mutual funds?
The first thing, Kalpana, would be that there's a general rule: you do not put all your eggs into one basket. So, irrespective of what the market situation or the conditions currently are, you want to take the benefits of market being, at their lows, and there is a rupee depreciation. So, if you're considering these things and consider equity because of that reason, I would say no. Please do not do that. Understand there is a risk in every investment that you do. Like for instance, a bank FD, there is a risk of inflation. Though the capital is safe, but there is a risk of inflation. In equities, there is a risk of capital, but the inflation risk is taken care of. So the idea is, irrespective of however good a particular asset class looks at any given point in time, you do not put all your eggs into one basket. Based on each individual's profile, the investment profile, the time horizon and the goals, you need to make an asset allocation plan wherein you decide how much funds will go into equities, how much into debt, how much into any other say real estate or precious stones. So the idea is you need to make that kind of an asset allocation plan for yourself and allocate money based on that plan, not as per timing of the market. So I would suggest, if you can take high risk, you may choose to allocate more into equity, but not everything into equity. So answering your query, no, I would not suggest that you shift from PPF only because market conditions are favoring equities. You make an asset allocation plan and divide your money and invest accordingly.
Harsh, just to add on to Kalpana's question, is there a thumb rule on diversification? See, currently she has all her money in perhaps FDs. So how much of that portfolio should she shift into equity?
Well, first parameter of choosing an asset allocation plan, one of the primary factors is age. The other is goals. If there is something which is required, if a person is young, but if she requires the money after 2 years, she certainly cannot invest into equities, irrespective of her age being on her side. So, general thumb rule, if you ask me, whatever is your age, that much money gets invested into debt. So, if she is, I don't know, she's not mentioned her age, and I don't think we should be asking her age though. But whatever her age is, probably that much could be into debt and the rest could be in equities, provided she has no short-term requirements with those funds.
All right, Kalpana, that's the advice that has come in for you from Harshvardhan. So perhaps only unless your perhaps risk profile warrants it, perhaps you just shouldn't look at equity as the single asset class for you. But we have another query. Anika Marathe calls us from Mumbai. Hi, Anika.
Hi.
Hi, what's the question you want to ask us?
Actually, I would ask whether I have investment like in SIP, right? So, what else option are there?
In terms of mutual funds, you want to know what are the options available?
Yeah.
Okay, Harshvardhan, what are the various mutual funds? I mean, we know there are index funds, sector funds, it's a thematic funds. What else can you throw up for our caller?
Well, Anika, I would say mutual funds have schemes which suit all types of investors. So what you've referred to is an asset class which is equity. So there are different kind of schemes in equities, such as you have funds which invest only into large cap companies, some will invest into mid cap, a combination of them. There are some sector funds which invest only in a particular sector, such as banking or pharma or technology. So within the equity category, there are different kinds of options available. Within the debt, there are investments, there are schemes which allow you to invest money for even a couple of days and going up to a couple of years. So the idea is, again, I would not want to throw up some names to you. What I could do is throw up categories. When you start investing with say one of the safest ways to invest into equities to begin with would be index funds. So in case you do not have an index fund in your portfolio, you can choose to invest in an index fund, or if you want to start investing into equities again, there's another option available, which is a balanced fund. A part of the money that you give goes into debt, a part into equities. So to begin with, these are the options available. As you progress into investing and you get comfortable with equity investing, you can choose schemes which are actively managed. You can choose a large cap fund, and then going down a mid cap and a small cap, and then last you would get into a sector fund. So answering your query, if you wish to know names in equity schemes, Franklin India Index Fund is one thing where you can start with, or you can start with an equity aggressive balanced fund, which is an HDFC Prudence. And if you want a debt aggressive balanced fund, then a MIP would be HDFC MIP would be a scheme to start with.
All right, Harsh, thanks so much for addressing all our viewer queries on their personal finances. Need to slip into a very short break. We understand Tech Mahindra press con as well is about to start. So when we return, we'll address more of the queries from our women callers, and we'll also come to know a little more on Tech Mahindra.